Hey guys, this is H-Town Kicks 713 coming with a new review today of the VII Lightning 534 model. The 534 model just came out on November 25th, 2014, which is actually a Tuesday here in America. Kind of an odd day for it to release, but given this is the big sale weekend here in America with Thanksgiving weekend and Black Friday coming upon us, is probably why they released it a little early to get ahead of the game. And so let's look at the official tail of the tape of this one. It's coming in your standard KD7 box, which the other models have released in. And if we look at the official colorway of the shoe, which is actually some interesting colors that I haven't heard before, but they're calling this Cave Purple, a Hyper Grape, and a Magnetic Gray, which you see on the midsole here. And also they're calling what they call a Bleach Turquoise, which you see here on the swoosh and the KD logo there at the top. So this particular model, it kind of falls in line with what KD's been going with for some of his shoes, like the 35,000 degrees, Calm Before the Storm. It goes with the weather theme. So the lightning has to do with the kind of the color hues that come off near the Empire State Building. The lightning rod, it kind of gives off this purple hue during that weather storms and thunder. And the number 534, kind of wondering where that's coming from. I'm going to bring up a map here. If you look at the Empire State Building, you know, it's located here at 5th Avenue and 34th Street, so that's kind of where that numbers kind of come into play in terms of the naming of the shoe. So I guess the interesting thing about this shoe, you know, in terms of colors, you know, I know some of you'll notice this. I'll put up a comparison picture here on the top, but you look at the midsole on the bottom, you know, some are going to say, yeah, it definitely looks like just the bottom portion of the Calm Before the Storm model that released earlier, mid part of this year, and I definitely would say, yeah, it is the exact same colorway there. Also, if we look at the 35,000 degrees, you know, that's got that same gray colorway as well. So just kind of interesting they're using that same kind of midsole there. Actually, you know, if you just look over time, since I've been wearing the 35,000 for a while now, you see some stress marks there that's been occurring over time, over use, which, you know, you don't see on a brand new one. You don't see those stress marks. And I guess the only reason they're probably using that same colorway, you know, I guess when I think, you know, it probably has to do with manufacturing, saving down on cost. Of course, the more you can produce of a color, I guess generally that's mostly the cost savings there. But let's take a close look at the color here. That's kind of the key thing that's kind of going to drive you to the shoe. And the KD7's been one of my favorite ones so far. It's actually been one of the most comfortable shoes I've been able to wear. I think I wore it for 16 hours one day, walking many miles, and my feet didn't hurt at all. So it's definitely winning on that portion. But if we look at the very front portion of the shoe here, guys, you kind of get that fuse. It's in this color here, that fuse portion here on the right side is kind of a darker grayish color. If we look up, we're going with that purple. And look at the swoosh, you got that stratospheric design there, going with that, what they call the Bleach Turquoise colorway. Of course, like I said, they're going with that flat ribbons with, it looks like, you know, kind of I'll describe it as like hyper crimson. That's what it kind of reminds me of, the color there on the dynamic flower wire there up in the portion of the front. And we kind of work our way with the shoelaces. Like I said, in my previous reviews, I mentioned that they go with the flat laces. So if you're doing a lace swap, you may have some issues trying to fit it in those holes there. Coming through the top. And actually, one thing I wanted to point out, I didn't do in my previous reviews, but let's turn this around here. But if you look here, you know, at the shoe in this front portion, you know, the purple color doesn't actually continue all the way. It actually stops, and they have this design right here in the middle. Previously, I actually didn't like that the way they did. I wish it was continuous, but on this particular model, I actually like the way it works on this one. It kind of pops that color underneath the mesh. Of course, we go back to the strap, which you brought back, very popular. The 7 circles for the 7th model. Of course, the 35 number logo for KD. And I had a video on this. It's made up of a bunch of different 7s in that number 35. We go up to the top. Let's take a look closer at that KD logo, which in that Bleach Turquoise. It's kind of a mint colorway if you guys are trying to figure out what that is. One thing I do like, though, like I said in the mesh, one thing I noticed a little bit different on this one is, like right about here, you see that underneath color on the mesh kind of pop, kind of that crimson color through that purple. I like that. That worked real well on this one. I don't really notice it on the previous models, like 35,000. You really don't see that color kind of pop underneath the mesh here, but here you do see that color difference there on the screen. Now, a nice thing about this shoe, which I do like when looking at it, is the back portion of the shoe. So the way to describe this one, it's like it very shines a lot. You can see the shine here off the light, off the wall and the natural lighting. But it's kind of like a marbleized type color. That's why I would describe it. It doesn't look black. It looks like a dark purple, kind of like the color you see on a grape juice drink. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But let's look at the inner lining. Going with that nice purple. There's autograph there. The back portion of the shoe. Coming up with that purple on the top. And we go with that swoosh on the inside with that Bleach Turquoise. And continue on with the strap here. And you see the dynamic flower kind of pushing through. So it looks actually real nice. There's the inner strap, stratospheric design. Of course, the previous review they had the names of his family there on the inside. So if we look at the bottom of the shoe, it does remind me, I actually don't have a shoe to actually compare, but it is probably reminding me of the Calm Before the Storm design. Of course, we got the KD logo in the inside portion of that sole. Going with that hyper bleach turquoise there. And the metatarsal bones there in the middle. And also looking at the, if you can see here, kind of the map of kind of that Maryland area. And this traction here, actually, is one of my favorite tractions. Very good traction, even in wet weather. I walked in this in wet weather, and it held up very well. And for basketball court purposes too, performance, I think you're going to get some great traction on this one as well. So that's about it, guys. Actually, one other thing I wanted to show too is comparison of color, because that's probably the key thing here, which I've done in some other videos. But I have here the Barkley posits here, kind of the Godzilla colorway. So let's see if we can get a matchup of these two colors together. So if you guys are trying to get an idea, take a look there, those two colors put together. So if you've seen the Barkley one, you can get some idea of the shades of purple that may be occurring between the two shoes. And I took some photos here of some accessories. I'll pop it up on the screen. Kind of a hoodie hat there, and also some socks. There's also, I saw on the line, there's some matching shirt and baseball cap, snapback cap that goes with it. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll do an odd feet, and I'll take it from there.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.